ready for this. All right. Welcome to Master Memories, the podcast where my friends talk about their lives. Today on Tuesday, April 4th, 2023, I'm here with Chloe Singer Englehart, a.k.a. CeeLo, a.k.a. the best Englehart, a.k.a. You have any other nicknames I missed? Or?
No, you're already flattering me.
Yeah. I feel like outside of CeeLo, I haven't heard you call it anything else.
Nah, you can't beat that.
Yeah, because I know you call Sid Squid. Does she have anything for you, or is it just Chloe?
She calls me Cholbug a lot. Chol. Rolly with a dab of ranch. Choly with a dab of ranch. That's what she says. But mostly Cholbug.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That's a good one right there.
Yeah.
What is your first memory of me and you?
Well, it definitely wasn't until college. I know that for sure, which is ironic because of me and Sammy initially being roommates. So I think I heard of you prior to actually meeting you.
Yeah.
But I think it was through Mount. I think honestly we were just all in Bowen House, and me and Sydney are kind of stuck at the hip sometimes and run with each other's friend groups. So
yeah.
I think I was just over and we were being silly freshmen and maybe going out or something. But I think I was just over at Bowen and ran into you on the second floor and met you in one of the many people's dorm rooms of all of your guys' friends. And you guys were so tight and I loved that. And I'm glad I was able to become friends with all of you guys through Sydney. So I think honestly it was just freshman year and getting to meet you through Mount leadership.
Yeah.
And everything. Yeah.
Oh, it's fun. I don't know, thinking about all those memories of just in each other's little double dorms, packing us all in there. I don't know.
They really did.
Yeah. No.
Actually, I do remember something specific.
What?
I remember you and Evan roomed, didn't you?
Yeah.
I remember specifically, your guys' room was very stinky.
Come on.
It smelled terrible.
All right, I'm putting that all on him, considering I'm a cleanly man. He just eats Gushers all day.
All day, every day.
Yeah. No. It's funny though. I feel our the amount of friend groups in college that have just merged over time between BPAD or you and Sammy and I don't know, your one other roommate I remember that clearly isn't Danny.
Yeah.
Not really here anymore.
No.
But I don't know, I love the friends of friends just becoming friends.
I do too.
I was talking about with Cody yesterday because he was Adam's friend and now it's I go to his place all the time, just hang out. I mean, yeah, you were Sydney's sister and now you're just Chloe.
I know, now I'm just me.
Yeah, I mean you're still a little bit of Sydney's sister, I guess, but
to an extent, but I guess she's also a little bit of my sister too.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to separate the triplets.
At times, yes.
So what were you doing today before we started filming?
I just got up for my normal Tuesday, I guess, with school. So I'm a vet student at Ohio State's College of Veterinary Medicine, which you know. I guess I just feel like I need to explain it for reasons of this podcast.
Yeah,
but,
go Bucks.
Go Bucks, yes. Continued Buckeye. But I just got up. I had class from 8 to 10 for one class, and then I had my anatomy lab from 10 to noon. And then I had a super yummy lunch lecture where I learned about feline hyperthyroidism and got free canes, which smacked. It was really, really good. I hadn't had canes in a really long time. So had some of that. And then I had one more class, and then I had a student government meeting, and now I'm here.
Sounds like a hell of a day. Jam-packed with all the animal stuff.
All the things.
Are lunch lectures an actual thing? I thought you were just people sponsor a lecture and bring food, or that's awesome.
Yeah, it can be just people who want to come speak that are from different veterinary or pharmaceutical companies or whatever it may be, related to vet med or not sometimes too, which is nice. It's just refreshing when it's not all vet med all the time. But they'll come speak, or it can be related to different student organizations. So they'll just rent out a room, normally incentivize students with food, and you get a sign up for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often do those happen? Or?
It kind of fluctuates, honestly, but I would say there's probably at least one a week minimum for sure. This week I think there was one every day, but I didn't sign up for all of them.
I mean, free lunch every day, you kidding me?
Yeah, sometimes you have to be a dues paying member, so they get you there. And I'm not trying to pay dues to every single student organization because that's pricey.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You ever just like go in, just like take some food and then leave, not even go for the lecture?
No, but I have had an instance where I signed up for 2 lunch lectures on the same day and got both condado tacos and I think it was Chick-fil-A.
That sounds like a great day.
I was loaded. I had so much good food.
Free food and like learning, like.
Oh yeah, what's better?
Can I go? Like.
Sure, come on over. I'll tell you next time I have 2 lunch lectures in one day.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna sneak in the back and just eat while you guys talk about thyroids or.
Yeah, honestly, no one would stop you.
Hell yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Like, I don't know about you, but I feel like learning's kind of fun. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm, like, miss school, you know, homework and all that shit. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir, obviously. But I don't know. There's something like if you're actually interested in like learning something, it's like actually enjoyable. Like I'm sure like lunch lecture must be like a double fun for you because it's like more animal stuff and like good food.
Yes, most of the time they happen so often that I feel like sometimes I don't even like listen anymore, which sounds bad. Like sometimes I use it to get other work done, but like today I happen to like listen because feline hyperthyroidism is a super common thing you see in practice with old geriatric patients. So it's just something you see all the time. So I was like, this sounds cool. I'm gonna go to it.
Did not know that cats have a thyroid problem.
Mm-hmm.
The more you know.
So if you ever end up with a cat and they hit the age of 10 plus.
If I ever end up with any animal, I'm gonna text you anytime there's a problem.
Please do.
I don't know. Like I feel like I don't know. Anytime there's something with my skin, my best friend's or my mom's best friend / my best friend's mom, like I just am like, hey, what's going on here? And then she like texts me what's going on. I'm like, cool.
She lets you know.
Yeah, like I don't have to make an appointment.
We love the easy plugs.
Yeah, exactly. No, I always call my mom and her the 1-2 punch of keeping me attractive because my mom's the pharmacist, she's the dermatologist, so they make all this skincare happen.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
We love it.
What's your typical day or week look like right now?
I guess I kind of got into it a little bit with the last question, but just being a veterinary student, a first-year veterinary student, most of my life is just revolving around school right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have classes 5 days a week, and it kind of just depends on the day, how long you're in class. And it's not all just sitting in a classroom and learning. Like sometimes we, depending on the day again, we'll have anatomy lab or clinical skills lab. So that might be at school in one of our clinical like learning settings, or the anatomy lab, or it'll be off-site. So it'll be at one of our, we have like 3 different large animal facilities where they're essentially like large barns where we can practice clinical skills, learn different things, and get hands-on learning that way versus sitting all the time and just learning from lectures and PowerPoints and whatnot. But mostly that. I'm living at home right now still for this year, which has been great. So I very much am seeing a lot of my family, which I'm really lucky for, that they are so close. So I see my mom and my dad every day. I mostly see Sydney every day when she's not working odd hours or if she's not night shift.
Yeah.
Here on medical campus. Yeah, I guess too, I try and do some fun things when I'm able to.
Mm-hmm.
This past week was busy because we had a couple exams, but coming up here, when I'm not studying all the time, I try and like even things out. So that might be going and doing fun things with like some of my vet school friends, or just completely not, like just taking a step away from vet school, which is nice sometimes, just to get a breath of fresh air, and doing things with other people, with my sisters, with Nick, my boyfriend. I'm really enjoying breweries in this stage of life. I'm trying to become a beer girl instead of a wine girl. Or not instead of, but I'm trying to broaden my palate. So, I don't know. I have like a few things. I love my plants. I spend way too much time on Facebook Marketplace these days, trying to find odd things to buy.
Like what?
Well, I'm moving out next year, so I'm trying to find furniture and whatnot. Yeah. So I'm kind of a fixer-upper. Like, I like a good project, so I've been spending too much time on there.
Yeah, I feel like there's nothing better than just like looking for. Back when my sister was moving out to Connecticut, that's the name of it. Before COVID all happened, like spent so much time on Facebook Marketplace, or just like walking around New Albany, like the dresser I have right now is just like someone was gonna throw out the dresser. I'm like, hey,
Did you just see it on like?
on the road. I was like, hey, can I have that? And they were like, sure. And now I do.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah, but it sounds like you got a pretty good variety between like actual schoolwork, like like you said, the lab and the class, and even the. It sounds like you have a good work-life balance. I mean, are you working or is it just school-life balance right now?
So I'm working a little bit, yeah. Nothing substantial. Just because classes take too much time out of my day and just schoolwork that I have to do outside of class. But I'm working like 10-ish hours a week at, it's called Upper Arlington Veterinary Hospital right over here. It's just a small animal private practice clinic. So yeah, I'm just working there as a vet assistant and trying to make a little bit of money and get experience while I'm doing it.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
And then how'd you get into the brewery stuff, like trying to become a beer girl?
Honestly, I think I just wanted to like try something new and like I don't know, at least for me, like I started with so many like sweet drinks, especially like with wine. It was always like Moscato or like sweet Rieslings and things like that, and you like slowly but surely get your way into like other whites, more dry whites and then reds. And I liked sweet beer. Like I liked like sours. Obviously seltzers are good too, but like in regards to beer, I just like the sweeter stuff, and it kind of like, I think the process too was really cool for me to like, I like knowing how things happen, and I think the whole like brewing process is interesting. So I don't know, I wanted to try more, and also I think it's like a fun experience just to go to the breweries itself and see like the vibes and
all the barrels.
How it is. Yes. So I think it was more for the experience, and then I actually started drinking it. I was like, oh, like this isn't half bad. So yeah, now I'm widening my horizons and my palate a little bit.
Oh yeah, gotta keep it open-minded.
Yes, exactly.
Any favorites right now?
Not entirely.
Yeah.
I had a really good. It was like a orangey, like tangerine, like light ale. Earlier, like it was back in fall, but I'm literally still thinking about it. It was so good.
Oh, yeah.
I had it at Olentangy Brewing Company, so you and me should go sometime. It's really good.
Very down.
Okay.
I don't know.
Come with me and Sydney.
Bet. I don't know. There's like some beers where I've like found them locally, and I've been like searching for them since, and I'm just like I can't find them. Like when I was in LA with Derek, I had this like Mexican lager, and it was so good, and I've been looking for it for like a month now. It's just like I'm starting to give up hope that it's like just an LA thing.
It's just novel.
Yeah. Or
when did you go to LA?
First week of March.
Okay.
Yeah. Or anytime I went to Israel, I guess the 3 times I've been, there's this one beer called Gold Star Unfiltered, and like it's like the beer of Israel, but it's like so good.
I think I've heard of it actually.
Yeah. The only
What's drinking age over there?
I won't say 18, but don't quote me on that.
Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
Oh, you're fine. But I was just gonna say like it's funny because like I know like Brian over at Camelot. Yeah, so I've talked to him because he's from Pittsburgh and like or in a pretty Jewish neighborhood in Pittsburgh. He's like all the people like there are always looking for it. It's not just me, but it's like so whenever this one like local like gas station, beer store, whatever like gets it, like it's always like on the hush because like as soon as like everyone knows it's like it's sold out like that. So it's like you gotta like have someone on the inside to get it.
Everyone wants it.
Yeah, I don't know. Good beer's hard to find, I guess.
It must be good.
Yeah, no, it is. To be fair, I haven't had it since I was 16, so maybe tastes have changed a little bit, but I'm dying to get another sip of it.
Now you're making me want to try it.
Yeah, this our podcast isn't sponsored yet, so Gold Star, if you're seeing this by chance, please, I need money. Where do you lean politically and why?
Generally, lean a little bit more. I would say I'm kind of independent, honestly. Like I see benefits to both sides. I would say with our current like state right now, and with our like last leadership here in the United States has made me a little less adept on the Republican side of things, and on the conservative end. But I don't know. I think generally for me it's like coming down to being a good person and doing things for others. I honestly wouldn't call myself a really like, I don't know. I don't have like super strong like views at this point in time because I think it's something that I just kind of like lean away from almost, which is bad to say because you have a lot of power to influence where your life goes and where like the nation is heading, even if it's just one person, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's something I need to work on personally, is becoming more educated on policy and where I stand and where all of, like, just generally having more of a opinion. And I don't like talking about it either. You probably can tell, like, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's something I just lean away towards. So I would say I'm independent, but definitely definitely not conservative, I can tell you that much.
Gotcha. Yeah, I will say I feel like I don't know if anyone ever is like truly educated when it comes to politics. I feel like it's like such a
It's
rabbit hole.
opinionated. It's hard.
Yeah.
I would say I'm a conservative Democrat when it comes down to it, but I don't know. It's hard.
There's just so many policies. You know, there's so many like opinion. I mean, there's like some things where it's like social issues where it's like it's more of an opinion than a fact. But then there's like fiscal stuff where it's like there are backings on both sides. It's like I don't know. Both could equally be right. I'm not a finance person. Like
exactly.
I don't know how the money works.
I know.
Yeah. I don't know. It is. The more I learn about politics, the more I wish I could become apolitical. Like
apolitical?
Or not apolitical, but like I don't know, less involved in it. Like it's almost like ignorance is bliss. That's the phrase.
For sure.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like, well, like I do have this civic duty to be present in society and to have, like, I have input to give, and we have the right to give it. So you should kind of use your voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I almost think it might be like a little bit of a generational thing.
Yeah.
But now I feel like with everything going on, that like our generation kind of is speaking out a lot, and things are changing. So I don't know. That's an ambiguous answer for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say, more independent. Definitely leaning more towards Democratic for me.
Do you know, like, I don't know, where some of your political opinions might come from? Might it be like, household or schooling or I don't know?
I think both for me. Both my parents are registered Republicans,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
My dad, it characterizes himself more as an independent too, and then my mom definitely, I feel, her opinions are more like on the liberal side. Growing up, she was always for every levy, was for our learning, was like, for being a registered Republican, she is very much like, I think kind of supports the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be interested to see like if things have changed for them since they've lived their life and have experienced different people in power and, but I would say for me, it's mostly been probably both my parents in school and forming my own opinion from what we've seen in like the past like 5, 6, 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I mean, to your point, I feel like opinions do change a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Whole point of this podcast, who knows what it'll be like in 10 years.
Yeah, honestly, maybe we'll be thinking very different things if we ever come back to watch these.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the point. It's just a
I'm
moment.
gonna just like drop this in a little email link to us when we're like 30 and say, hey, remember we did this?
Yeah, it lives on a YouTube channel where it's your initials and the date, and it'll be there. Considering most people have the exact same questions, and unless you know the person, you're probably not that interested in it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think the most viewed episode I have is like 28 views. Like, so.
Whose was it?
A kid in my lunch class who I'm pretty sure reloaded the page a couple different times. Because
He wanted to get the views.
yeah, considering like his just like blew up, like there was like 1 or 2 like views a day, and I was like, it was like surprisingly consistent. I don't know, I feel like if it was like a big spike on one day,
it'd be like,
one thing.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, who knows though. What's your most unique talent?
I used to be able to do this really well. I don't know if I can anymore, but I used to like be able to. It sounds like an owl. You can almost be like an owl. Can you do this?
No, I can't.
Okay, let's try it.
Go for it.
I don't know. I think this started from like, did you ever take grass as a kid and like try and blow it between your fingers and like whistle?
No, but I've heard people do that.
Yeah. This is, I think, one step up.
We can go. There we go.
But if you like go like this,
Yeah.
you actually sound like a bird.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go home and do this.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be so good, and it's not gonna be on this podcast.
It's all right.
But at one point, I was really, really, really good at making like owl and bird sounds, and everyone thought I was weird for it, but I liked it.
I mean, you're a vet. You gotta know how to communicate with the animals.
I don't think I have any other I don't think I really have anything super exciting.
Everyone says that. Like.
I think I'm good at making people feel at ease
Mm-hmm.
in awkward settings. I will say that as like a non-tactile unique. I wouldn't say it's a talent, but maybe a quality about myself. Like, I feel like I pride myself a little bit on like making people feel like they can just chill out and actually talk to me. And I don't know if you feel that way.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you can talk to me?
I feel like a very open person. You know, it's no stress, like you said. I don't know. It's a good time talking to you. I guess. I don't know.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, it is a pretty unique talent. I feel like there are definitely people where it's like, there's hesitancy where it's like to talk about certain subjects or,
Yeah.
talk to in general.
Mhm.
But, yeah, open book. I don't know, maybe not open book, but there's a...
I feel like it's the genuity, like being genuine enough to the point where like people understand that like I care enough to talk to them and hear what they have to say. And like I feel like when you're talking to someone and you're feeling that from them, it makes you even more adept to want to like take part in the conversation because the other person wants to hear what you're having to say. So
Yeah.
I feel like I want those that I interact with to feel comfortable enough to talk to me and to be their normal selves around me. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Also, did not know genuity was a word until today.
I know ingenuity is a word.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could be not, but
Probably.
we're gonna go with it.
Yeah.
I had a professor 2 days ago who loves the word that she's made up and pretty much posted it as a part of her own vocabulary and says it all the time, and it sounds like a word to me now.
As it should be.
If you say it enough, maybe it becomes one.
Have you ever said a word so much that it loses its meaning?
Spaghetti.
Yeah. I remember last July when we went to Cincinnati. Were you on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You were on that.
Oh wait, no, not during the summer.
Okay.
No, I went with the girls. Girls trip.
Anyways, it was me, Badzik, and Hudson.
Oh, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah, I couldn't go. I don't think for some
Yeah.
reason.
But it was our car ride down there, so I guess it doesn't even matter. But we just kept saying the word bowl, and bowl has lost all meaning to
Bowl?
me. Bowl. Yeah. Just say bowl enough and it's not even a word anymore.
Yeah,
It's just it's a sound.
Or when you say your name too many times or someone else's name and it just starts sounding so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it again doesn't even hold any meaning anymore.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about just I don't know, your name's just something it could easily change or
Take a lot of money to do it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean there's no I guess inherent value to Landon or Chloe or anything really. It's
until you put a face and body to the name.
Yeah, or to words, just the cultural significance,
Yeah.
water bottle. This could be anything. We all decide to call it water bottle. So I'm getting
True.
philosophical. What's your relationship like with your family?
I would say it's an overall good one,
Mhm.
for sure. We're all definitely very close, and I think it helps having them 20 minutes away from here and going here for undergrad at OSU. Same situation. So I grew up here in Powell, basically Columbus, Ohio. Went here for undergrad, lived here for 4 years. And I'm now back at home but still doing school, so I've pretty much always been around my family even after my childhood, so I think that geographical closeness has definitely helped that tight-knit feeling for sure. I love my sisters to death. There's that. I mean, we all have our moments for sure, you have your moments with your siblings.
Yeah.
But I love them. We're all different, so I appreciate that. I appreciate our differences. I would hate if we were all the same, even though we are triplets. We're very, very different if you
Oh yeah.
talk to us and get to know us. But I would say overall, really, really good. I definitely talk to my mom a little bit more about specific things than my dad, but I have a humor-based relationship with my dad that I think doesn't apply as strongly to me and my mom. I think we're more realistic, more serious, and with my dad I can just goof off. So Yeah, I don't know. I would say overall I'm close with them. I love them to death, and I don't know where I would be if I wasn't here doing school elsewhere. Like, I think the relationship would still be the same, but like I'm very, very lucky to have them so entirely close and to have them be as supportive as they are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, shout out Maria, Sophia, Sydney, and both the parents.
Heck yeah.
Did when you were growing up, like, was it? I know, like, you triplets. Like, did it ever like put a strain on anything? You know, like kind of having to be like or lumped together sometimes.
Oh yeah. I mean, naturally, right?
Yeah.
It was good, but at times it was like tough too. It had its downsides, but I also think at times it made us a little bit better. We're all, like I said, very different people, and we're also competitive too. So like when we were younger, throwing us in sports, like we definitely would get on each other and be aggressive playing basketball. Sydney and Soph would foul out in 2 seconds. Like, I was kind of a softie of the three, I feel like. Less physical, I guess, in sports, but also I think that's what made them really, really good in basketball and soccer and stuff. But I guess like that, having that level of competition with each other is also what made us really, really good teammates and like sisters and supporters at the end of the day. Like I guess I keep going back to sports, but like as a young kid, this is kind of what I just like feel like being together. We were together all the time after school, playing whatever it was, if it was basketball or soccer or track. Like we had, actually, Sydney was just showing me yesterday, me, Sydney, and Maria still have the top 4 times, are within the top 4 of our Liberty middle school we attended, the top 4 times of running the 400 track, still. And all it's 2023, so it was like 2014 or 13 or something. So, I don't know. And we would have that Englehart 4x4, like we would do relays together. We would obviously be on the same team when we play basketball or soccer. So, like even though we were competitive and at times hated each other and one was better than the other, one was doing better at this or had better qualities or not as good qualities at something, like at the end of the day it definitely made us better because you put all that strong energy and personality together in one force and go towards one goal, and it's like gold, you know?
It's like a rocket ship.
Yeah, and we know each other the best too. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We had a good childhood, I would say.
Yeah.
That was probably a really long roundabout answer that made 0 sense, but.
No, I mean, like, I don't know. To your point of like all you being different and competitive, like I'll never forget there were these 2 kids I played tennis with, identical twins. Wore the exact same outfit every day, like no one could tell them apart, and like I don't even remember they were like one was better at tennis than the other, but like I don't know, it was just I appreciate how different you guys are, you know, like I mean obviously not being identical triplets, but even just like in personality and like everything, like yes you like grew up all together, but it's like you all like to your set like exploded in different ways.
Yeah, and you have different relationships with like even when like people I know that are siblings, like even if they're similar in age or whatever it may be, like I appreciate knowing them as a family but still having different relationships with those people, and I'm sure like you have a different relationship with Sydney than you do with me, and that's okay and like a good thing, you know?
Yeah.
So.
What were you doing when you first got the news of COVID?
I guess in my mind, like COVID had already started at this point in time, but when it really hit home for me was at the very end of spring break when things actually started shutting down. Like we kind of had already entered the period of like people were getting sick, cases were rising, but we just hit that point where large institutions had to start closing. And I remember we were sophomore year spring break, we were in, where were we? Cape Canaveral with the girls. So
like the place with all the rockets?
Yeah, Cape Canaveral, Cocoa Beach area. It was a really fun vacation.
Sounds like it.
And it was like all of the girls, like all the Bowen girls plus me and Sammy. And luckily it was at the end of spring break, so at least we kind of, like you said, ignorance is bliss. We kind of got to live out spring break as we should, had like a fantastic time.
Yeah.
And then I remember we were supposed to be going to the airport later that night to catch our flight home. And we have family friends who live in the area, so they were like, oh, like, come to our condo for the day, like, we have a pool and cabanas. We were just, like, having a great end to our spring break, like, eating good food and fruit and having drinks at their pool.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got the first email, I think it was an email from OSU saying, like, no school for another 2 weeks, or maybe it was a single week, like, spring break essentially was going to get extended. Yeah. So that was a little alarming, but didn't, like, raise any, like, significant, like, concern to the point it was going to be at. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, this is odd, like, a little nerve-wracking, but, like...
More spring break.
Yeah, spring break. Yeah, more spring break. I think I was honestly more excited. I was like, woo!
Yeah.
Not going back to school yet. We love it.
Yeah.
And then shortly thereafter, we got the news that, like, we weren't going back to school and that we had only so much time to move out and, like, school's over, like, everyone's going home.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we were end of spring break, Cape Canaveral, Bowen girls, all of us, and it was just wild because, like, everyone, like, it was just immediate chaos.
Yeah, I can
just
imagine.
Scary moments, you know? And it's weird looking back at that now because so much has changed and, like, occurred in that time, and we've made great leaps and bounds scientifically, and all of our immune systems, I would say, are much more adept at this point in dealing with COVID.
Yeah.
But I think it definitely hurt us in other ways too, so I think we're recovering a little bit. But that's where I was when I heard the news of COVID. End of spring break.
Oh, that's funny. I've said this, but, like, it's everyone that was at Ohio State was on spring break and had, like, a similar experience of, like, yay, more spring break, this is awesome, and, like, 48 hours later
it was like absolute shock.
Shit. Yeah.
Depression. Shit's hitting the fan.
Well, like you said, I mean, like, at least, like, you know, we got some sort of spring break for sophomore year. I know junior year, like, we had, like, those 2 random days off, and I don't know, like, it would have sucked if it was, like, the week before spring break and just, like, all those plans had to, like, fall through, you know?
I know. Yeah. I think that was the case for Sophia because she was at OU. And she was pissed. Like, she wasn't even sad. Like, she was just really, really mad. She was like, they can't do this to us. Like, there's no way. It's like, Sophia, like, we're having, like, a
worldwide
pandemic. Like, lockdown, yeah, because of a global pandemic. Like, anything could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
I don't blame her. I remember, like, all the people that, like, you know, said this better be over by, like, June because that's when I turned 21. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. We
celebrated our 22nd like it was our 21st. Let's just say that.
I mean, like, I know Evan and Ben, like, had to celebrate in their rooms their 21st birthdays because our house had COVID during that time.
So bad.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Ironically, actually, though, I did get COVID over my birthday. My last day of quarantine was on my birthday. And
really?
It was senior year was when I ended up getting COVID. Winter break, yeah. And everyone...
Oh, yeah, because you're supposed to go on that ski trip,
Yeah,
right?
I was supposed to go on the ski trip with Ski Club to Winter Park, Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were all taking the bus out there and taking it back. And I got COVID right after Christmas. And I'm pretty sure it was from one of my little cousins, but we won't hold it against him.
Yeah.
And
he knows what he did.
She was so sick. She's so sick. We shouldn't have gone together, but it was Christmas, whatever.
Yeah.
Looking back at it now, it worked out fine, but I had to spend not only after Christmas alone, so the period after Christmas, so New Year's, the ball drop, and my birthday. I was all alone in the basement watching the ball drop by myself while everyone else was skiing out in Colorado. I was so sad. But I made the most of it. And I was also having a lot of trouble with flights too. So I wasn't sure even if I should go, but I ended up doing the minimum amount of quarantine. I don't know. I definitely didn't test because it would have come up positive on PCR anyway, but I just waited until I felt like my clinical signs and symptoms were at a point where I was okay and I wasn't going to be exposing people immediately.
Yeah.
So I decided I was going to go because we'd been planning on it and I wanted to so badly. And my flight canceled the night before. So I had to rebook a $500 one-way ticket to Winter Park, or actually it was to Denver,
Yeah.
Which was crazy. So all around it was just kind of a wild ride, but I made it to skiing, and that was my COVID experience. It was terrible. It knocked me flat on my butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really sick.
That sucks.
Yeah,
I
but-
feel like some people have it a lot worse than other people.
I
Like,
know.
I don't know, me personally, I know, like, it was like a day of terribleness, then I was fine, but
You got the flu worse than whatever that was. That wasn't even the flu.
that was mono.
Yeah, you were uber sick.
Yeah, no, I remember, I'll never forget, I had to ask Adam to go refill my water bottle because I didn't think I could go down the stairs and back up.
Gosh, you poor thing.
Yeah, no, poor me, you know, you just give me more attention, please.
I had mono at one point too.
How was that?
I don't know when I had it. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, that's the one,
Like, I just had a blood test done.
yeah, and they're like, oh, yeah,
And they're
mono.
like, it was the titer. So I was negative for mono, but they had, like, my titer was positive. So I'd had it sometime in the past,
Gotcha.
like recent past. But I wasn't, like, actively harboring a mono infection.
It's funny because I was talking to my cousin last year, about this time last year actually,
Mhm.
and he was like, yeah, like, I like went to the doctor and they're like, oh yeah, like you have mono, just so you know, and he was like, okay, you know, has a girlfriend at the time, and like a couple days later, she was super sick. He didn't even know he had it, but like she got it from him.
So he knew he had mono?
He like
Did he just not know, like, what to do when you have mono?
he wasn't sure if it was like he had it in the past or he currently had it, considering he wasn't like symptomatic at all. Like,
Yeah, like
the
he
fact
felt
that
okay.
like he was like you, he didn't even know he like had it,
Mhm.
and then like you know must have had it because his girlfriend got mono and got like as sick as I
Really
was,
sick. Ugh.
and so it's just funny how like I don't know sicknesses affect people so differently.
Differently, yeah.
I feel like I don't get sick a lot, but like when I do, it's just like
Hard.
bad.
Knock on wood. No upcoming.
This
That's
might
not
be
real
ply
wood.
wall.
It's not real wood to knock on your head.
Okay, this isn't wood either. This is
It's the next best thing.
all right. Well, what about
That's not
That's
wood
also
either.
still plywood,
Yeah,
okay.
You jinx it if you knock on fake wood. So
Actually?
Hope you don't get sick soon.
I'm not a superstitious person, so
I'm not either, but that's one thing I am superstitious about.
knocking on wood.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of COVID and everything, how was your quarantine, by the way?
I think it sucked for sure, but I think classes just felt dumb.
Mhm.
And everything was very much disorganized and all over the place because a lot of people, this is the first time we were really getting thrown into completing schooling completely online, and our professors weren't prepared for it. So I think from that point of view, it was stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And I like having changes of scenery and like getting up and doing things. So just like sitting in one place and doing school and nothing else and having to do it in the same place every day until summer, that was really annoying.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, it was great still having Sydney. Like, that was some sense of like normalcy, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
because we were already together during school here at undergrad. So yeah, I mean, I guess it was as good as it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Were Sophia and Maria not home?
They both came home too. It was full house.
Mm.
Yeah, full Englehart house.
Okay. Yeah. How was it having all you guys back under one roof?
Just in general, or like right now?
Back during
Back then.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good. Like, that's how it always has been. I mean, like, our rooms are essentially left as they are when we leave. So, like, when we come back, we always have a place to stay. My mom loves cooking for us. Actually, I do most of the cooking. Me and Cindy do most of the cooking now for my mom and dad, considering, like, it's almost like our rent.
Mm.
I feel like we would be paying. Like, we definitely have to pick up our slack around the house and do things to quantify our worth
Yeah.
so they understand why they're not charging us a rent. Not actually, but I do a decent amount of cooking now. But it was good overall, I would say. Yeah, we get along good.
Sounds like a blast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's crazy to think that like I don't know, quarantine brought people like people together all under the same roof for like. I mean, who knows when that'll happen again? You know,
Yeah.
like considering Sophia's down in Corpus Christi, Maria's still here, right?
She's still here, yeah.
Yeah. So mostly Sophia.
I know, mostly just Sophia, but also, I mean, if you interview Cindy here soon, she could tell you a little bit more about this if you ever talk to her on your podcast. But I don't think she's gonna be here next year because of med school.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me
Fingers
wrong.
crossed. She does have a school here
Yeah.
that she could potentially be in their class for next year, but TBD. Yeah.
I
don't want to jinx it.
As someone that has grown up in Columbus, like I completely get it. Like I need to get the fuck out of here.
I know. Tuition's expensive though.
Yeah.
I understand for like living your life. Like I think too.
Oh, for school, yeah. Okay, yeah. I get. I mean, yeah, sure. I'll get to her when I finally get her on the podcast. Hound her about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what her thoughts are.
What's your relationship like with your religion?
I would say growing up, so my family's Presbyterian. And growing up, like, my parents would take, like, our whole family and me and my sisters to church every Sunday. Like, that's just something we did. And I would say it kind of has become more of a slowly but surely just going when you could. Like, sports definitely started interfering, so we wouldn't always continue to go as we got older, and then it became just a holiday thing. And now it still is just a holiday thing. So to attend church spiritually myself, I honestly would tell you, like, I am not very religious or spiritual. I don't know what I believe in. I don't want to say that I'm agnostic. Like, I feel like there has to be something bigger that is taking part in our lives, and I don't know what that is. I also happen to be like a very scientific thinker and a skeptic and a realist. Yeah. And it's really hard for me to believe things that I don't see. Yeah. And quantify worth in something I don't see. So I'm not a very religious person, and at times I kind of hark on myself about that and feel like it's a bad thing, and I think it could be if you don't live your life as you should. And for me, what that looks like is, at the end of the day, I just want to be a good person. Like, I want to give back to everyone I come into contact with in some way, shape, or form, you know? Like, I want to, I don't know, give back to my community, and I want to, I don't know, I feel like I just want to have a good impact on my life and also on those who are in my life too. Yeah. So I don't know if religion necessarily needs to play a part in that. And I think that depends on, it's obviously different for every single person. Mm-hmm. And like you said, like maybe in 15 years when you drop this podcast link in my inbox or text, who knows, maybe we'll be really close and still texting at that point. Yeah. Maybe I'll have a really different outlook on my spiritual status when I'm older and I've lived more. And also, for some reason, I feel like when you start bringing a family into the world and start settling down, like, you have a serious change of, like, mentality and heart. So, I don't know. I think right now it might just be because I'm in a very, like, selfish part of my life that's just something I'm not making time for. But I think when it comes down to belief, I don't know that I have really any strong, like, religious holds personally, and I'm not the most spiritual person, which I think is okay. Yeah. And that could be subject to change. Yeah. So that's me at this point in time. Yeah. I mean, to your point, it's a belief. It's not like I'd say a necessity, but you know, it's something that you choose to do, and you know, whether you choose to be super involved or not. I mean, it's how much you believe, but. To your point, I am interested, like you said, like I feel like your 20s are like a personal journey, something like that. Yeah, like you're doing a lot of things that are for you, you know, like even if you are a super conscientious person and you give back to others and volunteer and do this, that, and the other, like you're in a very transitional and like integral part of our lives where we're going to school to figure out what we want to do for a living and figuring out what we like, whether it's for like what we like personally about ourselves or like our likes for what we want to do for a living or likes about other people, like who do you want to spend the rest of your life with. Like there's so many things that are going on at this point in time. And I think it is like, I think the word selfish has a negative connotation, but it's a very like self-absorbed time that we're in. Yeah. You know? No, and I think it's an important time, you know, like to, like you said, figure out who you are, but
I wonder if it's a age thing or generational thing or whatnot, like, like people becoming like less religiously in their 20s, because I feel like, I don't know, like a lot of people, like when they raise their kids are like, like you said, like we're going to mass every Sunday kind of thing. And,
yeah, and my dad's Catholic, but like we've never really been impressed upon to like, I don't know, have any super strong beliefs.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's like a good thing. I think you should come to those conclusions on your own, and my parents are supportive either way. So, I don't know.
I agree.
Do you think I'm a good person?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I mean,
I sing with you. You better think I'm a good person.
I was gonna go on a whole thing with religion and morals. How a lot of religions just teach good morals, but you don't really need religion to do that. But
Oh, I think it does though. Like I think it is a medium. I shouldn't call it a medium. That's terrible. It's religion. It's people's beliefs in their life.
Yeah.
I think it does teach good morals, but I also think you shouldn't be practicing a religion if you don't have both feet in, and I don't have both feet in, and I'm not going to pretend like I do. But I'm still going to live my life to my fullest and be the person I want to be, which when it comes down to it, I do want to be a good person and to impart good interactions upon everyone that I come into contact with, if I like you.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Not actually.
Yeah.
You know, like...
We'll be tied the person Chloe doesn't like.
Yeah, I think religion or not, I think you just need to figure out how you want to live your life. And I think you can still live your life in a good way, even if you aren't the most religious person on earth. Yeah.
I agree.
I hope that didn't offend you in any way, shape, or form.
I'm not offended at all.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is for you more than it is for me. What's your biggest regret?
I honestly would say that to this point in my life, like I feel like I've done everything that I've really, like obviously I have aspirations and things I want to do, but that comes with time and money and experience and just life and living. So there's things that I want to do, but I think at this point in time, there's not really a whole ton I do regret. I guess it would be just like, this is a little bit more like theoretical, but I think I wish earlier on being younger, specifically like late middle school, high school, early college, so I guess essentially high school, I wish I wasn't so scared to make mistakes. Like I think I took myself out of a lot of things and missed opportunities because I was too scared to do those and potentially fail. Like no one wants to be bad at things, but also you don't learn if you don't try something.
Yeah.
So I think in high school I was just a lot more timid. Like I was a lot quieter. I just I wasn't as much me as I am now, and I think that's natural. You know, we all grow up to become more of ourselves as we experience more life and have more people that we meet, and I think that's just the normal progression of living.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I would say I just wish earlier on I was more open-minded. Yeah. My parents would always tell me, like, Chloe, you gotta live life glass half full, not half empty. And they actually got me a t-shirt. What is the brand? Oh my gosh. I don't know, they have like stick figures on them. And like,
is it like stick figures that are like, like 3D, or is it just like a stick?
2D.
Okay.
But they also, what is the brand? It's definitely like a well-known one.
We could throw an editor's note up here. Just say what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
anyway, they like would tell me like you need to live glass half full, not half empty.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they were telling me that because they knew I was timid and I kind of would just let things pass me by and hide away, and I was passive about things, and I think you miss out on a lot of opportunities when you're that way. The dumb quota, if you're going to miss 100% of the shots you never take.
Yeah.
Essentially that. So I think I've come to avoid doing that and be more proactive in taking chances and saying yes to things that you don't normally. And it gets easier to say yes the more you do it. So and you're gonna, I think I'm much happier because I'm less scared to make mistakes, and you just live a better life in general. So I guess for me, my biggest regret, and it's not that big of one, it's an easy fix, that's
Yeah.
the good part, is my biggest regret is in my younger, like more formative years, just being a little bit closed-minded and like scared of the world.
Yeah.
I definitely was wearing a heavy jacket and just needed to shed it.
That's a phrase I've not heard before. But to your point of it being an easy fix, it sounds like, I don't know, you've really learned from that. You know, it sounds like you've, since high school, like, been a lot more open to new experiences and trying new things, like all this,
Mm-hmm.
Just because you failed doesn't mean it's a bad thing, right?
Yeah, true. And you're also never going to do your best if you don't try. Like, I think I wouldn't be in vet med, honestly, if I don't know. Like, I came into school as environmental science. Like, I was just kind of following a path I thought I wanted and that I had minor interest in. And a lot of the time, like, I loved animals, but like a lot of people love animals, So I always had an interest and intrigue, and I liked medicine and science and disease and all of that. But I think I was really scared of like the path and how tough it is to pursue what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And I think making that switch from what I was studying from environmental science to animal science and putting myself on that pre-vet track, I mean, that was a chance in itself, So I think I've definitely changed a lot, as we all do from like our younger years. But I definitely wouldn't be where I am now if I was still harboring my younger self qualities.
What are you most worried about?
I can give you a current major worry and then more long-term worry.
Go for it.
Currently, I would say money for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Things are so expensive, and especially my schooling, it's just wild. And it's something you kind of accept going into professional school in general, but definitely for vet med too. Like, you just know you're going to have a ridiculous debt to income ratio when you graduate, and loan repayment programs, and I won't get into all of the nitty gritty and the boring stuff, but it's definitely something that like I worry about. And I think sometimes I worry that I'm not worrying about it enough. Like, I wonder if I have fully encompassed and understood like how much I'm going to be owing by the time I graduate, because it's hard to tell that just with like looking at tuition without factoring in like cost of living and food and rent and doing things for yourself and like just living life.
Yeah.
So trying to put those things together and metabolize it right now as a first year, thinking forward to where I'm going to be as a DVM when I graduate in 3 years, like, it's hard to quantify that number in my head of like how much money I'm going to owe. So I would say current, like, very prominent worry for me is just financials and just cost of schooling.
Yeah.
Long term, and I think this is probably something that a lot of people our age worry about, but I think just like being happy, like all the decisions we're making right now, like we're doing it in our best interest to hopefully end up where we want to be, doing the thing we want, and also with the person we want it to be with.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I just hope future Chloe is happy in her life, and I hope that I'm not burned out from work. Like, I would just want to be really happy in where I'm at post-schooling. And I think there's a lot of room for that to not happen if you let it. I, again, don't mean to be talking about school so much, but I guess that's just a giant portion of my life right now.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of different professions, but definitely for vet med, mental health is a huge issue that we're dealing with, and I would say I'm lucky enough to not experienced any mental illness up to this point, and I don't know, there's just lots of things that come along with school, so I'm hoping that I can power through and continue to study what I love and continue to be excited about it and not get bogged down by the amount of learning, because like even if you like what you're learning, sometimes you're just overcome with how much you're expected to know, and you can't shove all of that info into your brain and retain it.
Yeah.
Like, there's just not the capacity. And a lot of that learning is going to be reiterated when you're actually out in practice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just hoping I can power through school with the understanding that it's okay, you're going to fail, you're not going to remember everything, you're still going to be a good doctor at the end of the day and do the most for not only your patients but for their owners. Like, you're going to make their lives so much better just by caring for their pet and making sure that they're healthy and doing everything you can.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope I can just keep that in sight and end up at that place where I'm happy doing what I'm doing and not completely burnt out, because that's a real thing that people deal with.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, like, between school and work and everything, like, I don't know, you gotta do what you love, but at the same time, it's like you can only do so much of what you love.
Yeah.
Especially, like you said, like, I feel like with medical stuff, it's like, I don't know, there's always that lingering of, like, you know, could I have done something if something bad ever happens? But I don't know. I think future Chloe will be fine. I don't know.
Thanks.
So you got a good head on your shoulders. You're.
Appreciate you, Landon.
What is the hardest thing that's happened to you this past year?
Honestly, Landon, I think I'm pretty lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there has anything significantly hard that's happened to me, but I will say something that was so incredibly terrible to me, not to me, but like something that I witnessed and experienced for someone else, which was my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna sound like really like just normal in the moment, because I feel like with everyone, like with aging, you have things happen. With, you know, you're just getting older, it's normal, things happen. So this probably doesn't sound too incredibly like novel, but she had a really bad fall, and it was just a really, really tough experience. And she's the last grandparent that me and my sisters have, and we're so close with her. And she just had a bad fall coming in from her car after hitting up the grocery store. And she has a couple steps that go down onto, so she has her driveway and then a couple steps that go down and then into like her house, and she was carrying groceries and took a tumble and fractured her nose, her hard palate, a number of facial sinuses. And when you have things like that happen at a geriatric age, it just takes a lot longer to heal, and you're not going to heal to the point where you were prior, you know?
Yeah.
So I think just the recovery process and like witnessing her experiencing that pain really hurt me, because I just hated for that to happen to her, and it just made me so scared for like what could happen, you know? Like, I feel like when you have scary things in general that happen to people you know, it makes you feel really lucky and more grateful to have them in your life, and it brings you back that sense of appreciation for having them. So I don't know, it wasn't hard. Nothing bad happened to me, but I would say that was just generally something that happened in 2022 that like would never wish it to happen again. Terrible. Yeah, she's doing great now though. She's in Hilton Head, she's living her best life, she's on the beach.
Oh yeah.
Lois is loving it.
Shout out Lois. I'm sorry to hear that happened though.
Thanks. I mean, I'm glad it's over with, and that we're more conscious about using railings and not holding things when you're going down the stairs. And she's about to have she had one knee replaced and she's about to have another, so we're just thinking good thoughts, you know?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to be careful when we're older.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to think that, you know, the teenage superpowers that we have don't last forever.
I know, right? Like, I was just thinking, I'm getting a wrinkle right here, like major wrinkle.
Really?
I might have to get Botox.
I don't know. I was just watching a trailer for someone that mentioned Botox. I'm like when I feel like when you're a kid, it's just like Botox is like such a, I don't know, I'll never have to do that thing. But now it's just like, you're not the first person to say Botox to me. Like,
no, I know, and I never actually took it seriously, and I still think it's kind of dumb for people our age. But
yeah.
Maria, my older sister, always talks about getting preventative Botox because she's the same issue, and I just don't want to like look like I'm 50 when I'm like 30, you know, 25. Like, I don't want to look old or young.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just gonna, whatever my body does, I'm just gonna let it happen.
Yes.
Until like I'm like 97, then I'm just gonna get full plastic surgery and look like a new person.
Could not imagine that.
I'm gonna look exactly like this when I'm 97. Oh, it's gonna be great. Trust me.
Oh gosh, we'll see.
What's something that made you laugh really hard recently?
I guess something more recently, and this was just short and quick, but I got a really good jump scare on one of my classmates. Her name's Ellie, and I actually told her today, I was like, Ellie, I'm gonna be in my friend Landon's podcast today, and she's like, you should shout me out. And it's funny because I wasn't planning on it, but here we are talking about Ellie. But I was actually, this was last Friday, and I was just finishing grabbing dinner with Nick. We went and got tacos spontaneously in Grandview it's called Agave and Rye.
Oh, I love agave and rye.
I'd never been. It was really good.
No, it's,
Well,
got some different tacos.
Yeah. The taco I had was good.
Yeah.
And my drink was stellar. I think that's also kind of what made the jump scare good, because I was like really excited about it and just like a little bit tipsy by alcohol. But anyway, I was just having a fun time because it was post-drink, post-tacos, and I had no idea that Ellie and I had a couple other classmates, they were just like randomly after class went to go study at Stoff's, which is right next door to Agave and Rye, or a couple doors down. And we were just walking, and I was saying to Nick, I was like, this is where I study all the time. Like, let's go in and smell the coffee beans, because it smells so good in there.
Yeah.
And I needed to wake up a little bit, feel a little bit less tipsy. And so we went in, went back out, was just in there for 2 seconds, just taking a little bean sniff, came back out, kept walking, and I happened to look to my right, and there's Ellie, of all people.
Yeah.
So I grabbed Nick, and I was like, you need to like be quiet. Run back in, and literally and I was coming up behind her. She was like sat in the perfect spot. So I had my other 2 classmates, Angela and Caroline, and I was like saying, be quiet, and I scared her so good. I laughed so hard.
What'd you get it with? Just a ooga booga booga, or what'd you do?
I didn't even say anything. Or maybe I did. I think I like, I just like kind of like, was like, ha, gotcha.
Man, Ellie, you got. I'm sorry. That's tough.
Best jump scare I've had in a while. And normally I'm the one that gets jump scared.
Yeah.
So it felt good to like have that happen.
Oh, I love jump scaring other people. Like,
I hate it. I hate when people do it to me.
Yeah, but it's so fun. It's
It
like
is fun,
it's one of those things where
not
it's
when
like
you're on the receiving end.
it's like scary for a second, then you're like, you motherfucker.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know, my roommate, like, I was washing dishes and he just said boo to me, but I just like was so in the zone with the dishes. I was just like, what's going on? It was last.
He got you good.
Yeah, just by saying boo. You know, I love the goofy, like the goofier the jump scare, the better.
The better, yeah.
Because it's like you really got scared by boo.
Yeah.
What's your favorite tradition?
We honestly don't do this as much anymore, but as a family, we would always, my grandma and my mom's side are Slovak. They came over from Yugoslavia, and they have a dish called palachinka there. It's essentially the equivalent to crepes. Yeah, so we would, growing up, and we still do, we just don't do it as often, but normally like if we have everyone together and it's morning time, or like during the holidays, if we're all together and for breakfast, sometimes we'll make palachinka, and it's just like a fun thing to do as a family, like fun experience getting to make the batter and like flip the actual like crepe itself and then just layer whatever the heck you want on it. I keep it plain and simple, just do Nutella and maple syrup and occasionally some bananas, but you just roll it on up and eat it, and it's actually so good. So that has some like really good core memories for me because we've been doing it since we were little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious too.
It's really good.
Yeah. No, I mean you gotta send me the recipe. So
I will. It's super easy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, like Nutella crepes always get me going.
Nutella, just Nutella even. Like
Yeah.
I stinking love it.
I used to eat Nutella sandwiches for lunch, like when I was a
Me too.
kid. That shit was good. I don't remember the last time I had it, honestly. I feel like
Anything hazelnut, I'm a big fan.
yeah. What else is hazelnut?
I mean, just hazelnut creamer. I love hazelnut creamer. I have a hazelnut candle. I'm almost out of it.
Probably smells amazing.
It smells so good. It's that and pear and agave. I made it.
And rye?
Not rye.
Oh.
No sprinkling of tacos over the top. But it does smell fire.
Who's your hero?
He's not with us anymore, but I would say my grandpa. On my mom's side, I never met my dad's parents. just my mom's. He passed away my sophomore year of high school from Alzheimer's, which is a generational thing. But he definitely is my hero for a number of reasons. But I guess I would say mostly just for his personality and for the way in which he like lived his life. Like he was a very, very strong personality to be, I don't know, just to be living with and to have known. And I feel like he just imparted some very strong lessons to me and my sisters. He like really did make us believe that like we were strong, we could do anything. We could do anything any boy could do. We're stronger than boys at times.
Yeah.
And just I think he really laid the groundwork, which I think made my mom a really good mom, which has made me and my sisters be able to live life in a good way. And I just think he was like a great man in so many different ways. He treated my grandma amazing. He was a really good dad to my mom and her sisters. And he loved horses. He would always like do things that he didn't have experience in and just completely commit himself to it and like would just make it his thing of something he wanted to do and he would do it. Like he had a lot of integrity. So I think he just definitely taught me a lot of life lessons, even though I only knew him when I was younger. But for some reason, he just kind of, I wouldn't say that I was his favorite by any means, but I was really colicky as a baby, which just means like I had like a really upset stomach for whatever the reason. And he would always tell me that he would, and really all you can do for like colicky babies is you have to walk them and you kind of have to bounce them so they can like just stabilize and make their stomach feel a little bit better. Like a lot of times when you're just sitting doing nothing, like it makes the issue worse.
Yeah.
So he would tell me all the time that like, Chloe, like I would take you up and down the stairs and around the house like over and over all the time whenever you were colicky. Like I could walk that house with my eyes closed. He would always say that, and he would say it too, like even as he started losing his memory, he would kind of repeat the same things to me and my sisters. So I definitely have like a very clear vision of him, even though he's not here with us anymore. But I don't know. I wish you could have met him. He's just like a super good guy. And I think he gave my dad a really hard time when he was dating my mom and before they got married and stuff. So I don't know. You just gotta love Milo.
Yeah.
I miss him.
What's the best thing that's happened to you this past month?
This is just like smallish, but I got to visit Soph, which was really fun. My one of my triplet sisters. She's my younger sister by a minute. Yeah. But I think I've told you a little bit, but she just moved to Texas for her new job as a digital content producer for, it's called Chris 6 News. It's Corpus Christi's local news station. And she's liking it, but also having a little bit of like tension with some people in her workplace, which is normal. Like you're not always gonna like everyone and not everyone's gonna like you, but I think people like the door is revolving pretty quickly in their news station. So I don't know, it just doesn't feel very stable, and I think she was just glad to have someone come visit, and I really wanted to see her in her new home and everything. So I got to visit her over spring break, which was really good after having a couple exams. Just enjoy the nice weather, the beach. It was nice to see her. I hadn't seen her in a minute.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Sounds like a hell of an adventure down there in Corpus Christi.
Oh yeah, it's like so different than what I was expecting.
Yeah, I mean, Texas or Corpus Christi?
Corpus Christi. I mean, I haven't really been to too many parts of Texas, if I'm being honest. Like I've flown through there, but I like haven't been there as a destination to visit. So Corpus really hasn't been the only place. I haven't even been to. Well, we went to Gatlinburg. No, that's whoa. Tennessee. Yeah. I'm getting myself mixed up. Shh. No, don't listen to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't really been to many places there, so it was a lot of fun. It was a little sketchy. I'm a little scared for her, honestly, but she has a good head on her shoulders, and she's very like conscientious about safety and stuff. So I trust her. She knows what she's getting herself into, and she can handle herself.
Yeah, I'm sure she is. Yeah, shout out Soph and shout out Corpus Christi.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
What do you think your past self would think of you now?
This touches back a little bit on my like biggest regret of not being more open-minded and more down that route. But I think my younger self, looking back now at my older self, would be probably a little bit astonished at how different that I am at that point in time. And I think overall probably proud. Just generally, I think impressed and proud and like happy for me now and what I'm doing. They probably would be like, what the heck?
Doing all this crazy stuff.
She's at vet school? What?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have my shit together by any means of the word, but I think my younger self would have been like, what? Like, she's doing the dang thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you think everyone has their lives together when you like
No
just
one does.
interact with them, or not even interact, but just like see all these people doing their day-to-day life and seeing only people over social media too at times. Like it always seems that like everyone has their life together, but in reality nobody does.
Yeah.
Absolutely no one.
Everyone's flying by the seat of their pants, just doing the thing of life, you know?
All the time. Yeah, which makes you feel a little bit better in the moment.
Yeah.
It gives you a sense of adventure too.
Yeah.
So
The thing of just knowing you're not the only person going through it, you know?
yeah, most definitely. So I would think my younger self would be happy and impressed and excited to see me here.
What do you think your purpose is in life?
I think my purpose in life is to make the world better locally through treating animals. But I think by doing that, you have a huge amount of branching that you're able to do because you're not only taking care of those I want to in my profession, which are animals, you're also taking care of the owner and you're protecting the owner too. Like a lot of people don't not understand, but just aren't aware of like public health risks and zoonotic disease and like all the things we eat every single day. If you do eat meat products or don't, I don't know, everything's just so intertwined between the environment and animals and humans and all of us being here on this earth together. So I think in some small way, like through living my life, it makes me inspired and like glad to know that I can have an impact on the health of so many other people and therefore their happiness too. You know, like if you're healthy, you're generally more happy and you're living your life a little bit better because you can do more things living from a healthier standpoint. So I just like that what I can do in my own small way is going to be touching a lot of people even though they or I might not know it.
Yeah, like you said, you know, I feel like not a lot of people think about like their doctors and all that, but it's like, or like I don't know, I know I was neighbors with my pediatrician, so like I know.
Oh really?
Yeah, but outside of that, it's like you said, like you know, it's being that like invisible hand of helping the world. So I like that. It's well put.
Thanks.
Are you fulfilled?
I don't think so.
Do you think you will be?
I think eventually. I don't think I'm fulfilled right now, which is completely okay. I think I'm happy, which is more important to me at this point in time.
Yeah.
I think I'll be fulfilled once I've done more living, and I feel like there's just so much I haven't done that I want to do, and that's why I feel that way. Like, I want to travel so much, I just feel like there's so much life and, like, places I haven't visited and people I haven't met and food I haven't eaten and, like, just all these things I just want to do and experience. So that makes it seem very superficial in those few things I listed, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like once I live longer and start working and start more into adulthood, I'll eventually hit that realm of fulfillment.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's selfish at all. Like you said, there's still a lot of life to live, a lot of things to do before, you know, to say, you know, like, I don't know, settle down is not the word, but to, like, just be, like, maybe not even satisfied, but, yeah, fulfilled, I guess.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself going the next 5 years, both personally and professionally, but more on the personal side?
I don't know. I honestly think once I finish school, I might want to go somewhere else other than Ohio and nowhere too far. I think I want to be in the Midwest area.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I was a city girl, but I think I'm kind of a little bit of a city girl, a little bit. So,
Alright.
I don't know. I think I might be somewhere other than Ohio within the next 5 years, so I'm not going to have a family yet.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm going to be traveling for sure. Keeping up with my friends and my family. I hope to pick up some hobbies. Like, there's definitely some things that I want to do and try that I just don't have time to right now, so I hope I'm, like, trying new things. I want to be active. That's something that I'm not doing right now.
Yeah.
I'm actually, I think, going to see a chiropractor here in the next week or two to get my back adjusted for how much I've been sitting. But, yeah, I hope I'm active and living a healthy and happy life, and I'm seeing my friends and my family, and I definitely will have 1, if not 2 animals by that point, because right now we're sitting at 0.
Any animals come to mind?
Definitely a cat,
Mm-hmm.
and probably a collie.
A collie.
Yeah.
That'll be a good 1-2 combo right there.
Yep. And it's going to be rescued.
Rescue, as it should be. I don't know.
There's a lot of puppies
I
that need homes.
don't fuck with dog breeders. I don't know. Like you said, I rescued my dog, so like I'm very firm believer of like, I don't know, yes, you get like a pure breed or whatever, but like
Mhm.
who the fuck cares? Dog's
Nobody.
a dog's a dog.
Right, exactly.
What do you want to have done by the next time we film another podcast episode? I don't know when that'll be, but I'm saying 3+ years from now.
Honestly, I feel like this is going to be like a dumb answer, but I feel like there's nothing huge that I want to do outside of finish school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after that, I feel like that's when I'm really going to start living my life, which sounds so bad because you want to live it right now in the moment, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of my hands are kind of bound. Just with school and finances and time, I can't really do a whole lot until I finish school. If I want to live life realistically and in a smart way, like I could definitely do some damage if I wanted to, but I shouldn't. I'm going to try my best to be smart.
Yeah.
So I think in the next 3 years, nothing too much is going to have changed. I might have a little bit better of an outlook on what exact like medicine I do want to practice.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, I don't think too much will have changed next time you talk to me.
Gotcha. Well, like you said, gotta get your priorities straight, you know?
Yeah.
School and then the fun stuff.
Just being real.
Yeah. Well, that ends the conversational part of the podcast. Wrapping up, I've got some quick hitters for you.
Okay.
So first thing that comes to mind, if you need time to think for it, or think, go for it, but just try not to overthink it.
Okay.
All right?
That's hard for me, Landon. I always overthink.
You get all the time in the world you need to think. Through the magic of editing, just, quick hits. So this is the moment in the mind of Chloe Singer Englehart. Chloe Singer Englehart. Words are hard.
You got it.
Yeah. What's the song that's stuck in your head recently?
I'm not a Taylor Swift fan by any means, but she's been hitting hard lately
Mm-hmm.
in the early morning on my way to school, to class. Lavender Haze has been really stuck in my head a lot recently, and I'm not proud of it, but it's the truth.
Gotcha. What's one of your favorite quotes or lyrics?
Not lyrics, just a quote, don't lose your gratitude.
What's the best show or movie you've seen in the past month?
I have been watching You on Netflix, and it's definitely a little dark, but it's thrilling, and I like it.
Yeah, I heard it's really good. I
Yeah,
started
it
watching
is.
it.
Dan from Gossip Girl's on it, and he's really good at playing his role.
Gotcha.
You should watch it.
Yeah.
Shout out for You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the best thing you've binged recently?
Probably that, You, or New Amsterdam.
What is your current and most recent job?
Working as a veterinary assistant at Upper Arlington Veterinary Hospital.
Shout out UV or
UAVH.
UAVH. There we go.
Go Bears.
Go Bears. Do you want kids, and if so, how many?
I do want kids. Probably 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's your favorite spot to eat nearby, whether it be sit down or fast food?
BB Bop.
What's something that you think is underrated?
Honestly, probably sunflower seeds. I feel like some people think it's gross, but I think it's fun. I like them.
I gotcha. What's your biggest hot take?
I mean, this is just personal preference, but I think rap is not good music. That's a very broad hot take, but I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, I got you. What's your biggest pet peeve?
Interrupting other people or ignoring someone who is trying to talk to you.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
What's your biggest insecurity?
people thinking that I am not intelligent.
What's your favorite quality about yourself?
My word that I made up, I think I'm very genuine, so my genuity.
Your genuity.
Uh-huh.
Love it. Do you have a favorite outfit?
I have favorite pieces. I'm kind of at a point in my closet where I don't have good clothes to put an outfit together at this point. So no, but I have favorite pieces.
What are some of your favorite pieces?
I have some sweet Converse that I love, some high top, like sport Converse that are really comfy but they're cute.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a couple thrifted pieces I like, and then one specific, like, it's like a light leather jacket that I really like.
Yeah, sounds great. What's your biggest hobby?
Honestly, I drink a lot of coffee, so it's kind of finding new coffee places and just putzing around, and lately I've been reviewing them too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. You're stuck on a deserted island, you only bring one thing, and it's electronic, it doesn't have cell service, you can't bring a boat. What are you bringing?
Water.
Water. Who are your best friends?
Sydney Englehart,
Okay.
Ellie Stoller,
Okay.
Maria Englehart, Sophia Englehart.
I don't know. There's only one Englehart allowed on the list.
Okay, I'll
kidding,
keep it.
kidding,
My
kidding, kidding.
sisters. My
Yeah.
sisters are just gonna make it one thing
Yeah.
because we get grouped together anyway, right?
Yeah.
Them, Ellie Stoller. I would say that's it. Those are my bestest friends.
Shout out the core.
Yeah.
What are you curious about?
Investing,
Like time, money?
money.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I know nothing about it, and I should.
Nor do I. Yeah. What's something that you have to do every day?
I mean, just study really novel, like random animal things at times that a lot of the population doesn't know or care to know.
Animal fun facts.
Yeah, animal fun facts. I come across quite a few of them on a daily basis.
I love it. What is your proudest accomplishment?
Proudest accomplishment?
Yeah.
Getting to where I am.
Oh yeah.
Being in a place to pursue what I want to do.
Great answer. What's one thing you want to own?
A boat.
What do you think the price of gas will be by the next time we film?
$3.12.
Very specific answer. I love it. Where do you want to visit next?
Italy.
Great answer.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Anywhere specifically in Italy or the entire place?
Sicily's been on my mind a lot, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, any of those coastal cities definitely hold some intrigue for me.
If you ever do go, highly recommend Venice.
Right.
Great fucking city.
Yeah.
Love it. All the
I've
canals.
wanted to go there ever since I watched the James Bond movie.
Yeah, it's the only European country I've been to, but it is awesome. Yeah.
I'll have to hit you up when I'm going there.
Bet. I've got a restaurant recommendation. I try to get Adam to go, but it's like on an island like off the coast of Venice or something like that.
Okay.
Best calzone I've ever had.
Calzone.
Yeah. Calzones are also my favorite food, so that kind of helps.
Yeah, it does help.
Yeah.
That sounds exotic.
Yeah,
A calzone
yeah.
on a island.
Well, it's like part of
off the
Italy.
Venice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like.
It's like,
An
but you have to
island
like go via boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It sounds exotic to me. Sounds like
fucking
fun.
I don't know. I love Italian food, and Italy has some pretty good Italian food, I gotta say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's one piece of advice you have for yourself, for the world, for me, whoever?
I think just to always give people the benefit of the doubt. You may think you know what might be going on in someone's life, but you really don't. And I think don't be quick to judge someone on your one-on-one interactions or their interactions with other people in the moment, because those actions or words or whatever it may be can be very superficial and not representative of that person. So I think we would all do some good just to give people the benefit of the doubt and to be more accepting and be kind to one another. Something I try to do every day.
I love it. And last but not least, top 5.
Brookside berries.
Brookside berry. Is that, what is that?
Chocolate covered blueberries.
Okay.
So good. I can't not say animals. They make life better.
Mm-hmm.
Any and all animals.
Alright.
You.
Me?
Your top 5.
Let's go!
I should have kept that for the end, huh? That's okay. You are in my top 5.
Alright.
For putting on cool things like podcasts
Thank you.
being landed.
Appreciate it.
I would say good breakfasts.
Mm.
Like a good breakfast hits hard.
Most
all the
important meal of the day?
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then travels.
Travels.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to do all of it.
All over the world.
All of it.
Yeah. It's a great top 5 right there. And a great way to round off this great episode right here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Glad to have you on. It was a hell of a time.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad I could come. This is fun.
Yeah. Oh,
Thanks for having me.
for sure. How do you want to end this thing?
Let's dab each other up.
All right.
And then go up to the camera and do little thumbs and peace out.
All right.
All right. Ready?
Yeah. That's fucking goofy. I love it.